Stars are that good, or it was FC Leopards on making?
Of course, in a set-piece situation, even the poorest of team can punish you. And if you look at Ivan Maynard, he's been complaining about his defense, especially the left-back position. And if you look at the header that came in at the back post, Yusuf Juma was culpable for that error. So definitely it's a matter of organization in terms of defense, but again, you have to give credit to City Stars. They had their game plan. They knew FC would come at them because they've been winning, so they were a bit confident. They sat back, and whenever they had the chance to break, they could go for the counter. And generally, if you look at how City Stars have organized themselves in against big teams, against Gor Mahia, we saw them drawing 2-2 against Gor Mahia, against Bandari, who are other
top contenders, sure.
So credit goes to Bobby Ogola and his team. Good job.
Your goalkeeper has done enough to stop the ball from crossing the line, and then you as defenders cannot react quickly to clear that ball. Would you really again come back to blame the goalkeeper?
Because one thing I know, because I also partner up as a centre back. You just didn't know that, right? Jacob Kelly, I think Enoka Gwanda is a very, very good forward, and Jackie Tuisenge. So I think they can fill in the seat, but you need they need that team chemistry. They need the momentum going.
Yeah, before we go to our next question, which we have asked you, that former Nigerian star and also African legend Nwankwo Kanu is in town. He's one of the latest of former footballers. Corporates have flown into Nairobi. Does it help Kenyan football in a way, or what are your thoughts? Our phone lines are open. You can interact with us on Twitter and also Facebook, so that we can get to hear what you think. Is one among many. We'll get to do that. But then quickly, Mathare United bouncing back from that 2-0 defeat to City Stars to beat Ushuru 1-0. What does that tell you of Mathare United?
I think Francis Kimanzi learned from mistake. Against City Stars, he rested Eric Johanna and Noah Beach. And the only change he made to his lineup was returning Eric Johanna, who was away with the national team, and Noah Beach. And you could see that the fluidity that has been the norm with Mathare United this season returned to the team. And I think they were unlucky to score from open play, but the pressure finally paid off. Jackton Onjala handling the ball at the line, and then Obadiah Ndege stepping up once again, leading from the front and scoring his 5th goal of the season. As a good performance from Francis Kimanzi's side.
You need those kind of experienced players like Obadiah Ndege. You've seen he's played for AFC Leopards. He's been in the Kenyan Premier League. He's gone to Mathare, and he has rediscovered his form again.
Yeah, I think it's also a good gesture. I mean, at an individual level, it gives you the confidence to play, especially for an attacking midfielder or a forward. The one thing that keeps you going is to score goals. The worst thing that can happen for any forward is not to score goals. If you have a goal drought, it wears you down. But then you start scoring again, it gives you the confidence. So I think when you see players like Obadiah Ndege scoring, it gives him the confidence. And another thing it does, it raises the level of the team.
To the big question now, Nwankwo Kanu, the former Nigerian star, is here. And at 10 a.m., he will be visiting the cardiovascular patients at Kenyatta National Hospital. Remember, Nwankwo Kanu won his first title at the age of 17 when they won the 1993 FIFA Under-17 World Cup. He also won the 1996 Olympic gold medal when it was played in Atlanta, USA, when they beat Argentina 3-2. He's around. He's been interacting with the kids. He's been interacting with the members of the media. And today he's going to Kenyatta National Hospital. Remember, gentlemen, he runs the Nwankwo Kanu Heart Foundation. This is a star. When he rose from the junior ranks, after winning the Olympic medal, and then he's diagnosed with a heart problem. He had to undergo a surgery. And recover to play for teams like Arsenal and even West Brom. Gentlemen, what does that tell you about this character, Nwankwo Kanu?
For me, I think I also remember Khalilou Fadiga.
Fadiga, the Senegalese, almost at the same time.
Exactly. So there are some of the things that happen in your life, and you thank God where you are. Because if Nwankwo Kanu would have played for FC Leopards or Gor Mahia and been diagnosed with a heart problem, he would have been forgotten. Go to a funeral. But thank God he was at Inter Milan. and he got his life saved.
He got his
Just
life.
tells you technology there. It's something big, and they saved his life because of the technological advancement. He was able to bounce back and play football.
Nwankwo Kanu, Samuel, receiving that kind of news that you have a heart defect and you have to undergo an operation, and then it doesn't put you down. You go ahead to win trophies.
I was actually at Isli High School when he was conducting the football clinic. And one interesting thing about him, he said that when he suffered the heart failure while at Inter Milan, he almost thought it is done for him in terms of football. But he said immediately the operation was a success. He saw it as a good opportunity to bounce back, and we saw him doing a good job there at Inter Milan. And something about his heart, it shows that the hospital that he set up back home, he's on record stating that they have already operated on 500 people.
Wow.
That means they have saved 500 lives automatically. So it shows he's a person with a great heart and someone who loves humanity and who loves football at large.
And remember, he was also part of the unbeaten team at Arsenal that won, the last one, the English Premier League, the Invincibles of 2004.
Why are you laughing though?
Yeah, because it's been about 12 years now. Arsenal have not won anything. But thanks to Nwankwo Kanu, who wouldn't let a heart defect, put him down, he helped Arsenal to get that last trophy. We've got to put our hands up and say, really, thank you, Nwankwo Kanu, for showing people that it's never the end of the world if you have a heart problem or any defect. Yeah?
One thing you have to realize, Toskin, in medical terms, there are those injuries that you can bounce back, and there are those conditions that you cannot bounce back. I remember AC Milan in the early 90s, they had this player, Jean-Pierre Papa, with Marco van Basten. Some of the players that were so good, their careers ended because of some conditions. Ronaldo Luis Nazario da Lima, he had set a record as the greatest World Cup scorer. I think Miroslav Klose did break it or something. But you see, because he had a condition, so he could not really continue playing. So I think for Nwankwo Kanu, I think it was something good. And once the doctors give you that good condition bill of health, then you can continue playing. So I think he can thank his God and say, thank you, Jesus, or thank you, whoever, for putting me right on track.
Shadrach mentioned there Marco van Basten, the Dutch legend. He played for AC Milan. He was one of my idols when I was playing football. And he suffered an injury, a bad injury. I think it was ankle or knee at the age of 29.
It was a knee.
At the age of 29,
very
and he retired. But then Nwankwo Kanu has survived. Now to be flown into Kenya by Star Times to come and offer encouragement to Kenyan players. Let's move this discussion forward. That, well, he's an African legend. He's a former Arsenal star, Ajax Amsterdam. He won, I think, the Champions League with Ajax Amsterdam in 1995.
Yeah. The UEFA Cup, that particular day.
But really?
I think they had Louis van Gaal at that time.
That was the time.
Louis van Gaal.
Now, he's among several former footballers.
It's called the most celebrated African player.
They have been flown to Nairobi by corporates to come and show us a few things here and there, conduct clinics. Gentlemen, are they the best? To show us the example, how to go about developing our game?
Let's see a
how do they contribute to developing Kenyan football?
Looking at it critically, I think it's a good gesture by the corporates to fly in these big names in football. But then again, you wonder, what kind of an impact does it have on the game on the long run? Because we have our youths who are looking up to these players. Of course, it's a motivation having them in the country at this particular time. But does it stop at being a PR gimmick, or is it to help the Kenyan game in the long run? If you look at it critically, I think it's a way, the corporates are sending a signal that they want to come into the game, but we know what has been dogging Kenyan football in the past. We've had issues with management, we've had issues with accountability, and I think this is a statement to the new boss of the Football Kenya Federation. Maybe it's high time we reach out to those sponsors because they have shown interest in the game. I think it's high time we reach out to them.
Shadrach, is it that we lack the stars? Is it like we lack the kind of personnel to encourage our kids? We've seen John Barnes brought here. We've seen Samuel Eto'o. Yes, Robert Pires.
Roger Miller.
Yes.
Nwankwo Kanu.
They've been brought here.
Yeah.
Is it that we don't have our Nwankwo Kanus to help our kids?
Trust me, I've gone to those clinics. There's nothing new that they've brought in Kenya that we don't know. We have so many stars in Kenya. Dennis Oliech has done an amazing job for Kenya. We can have George Japheth Waweru. Victor Onyango, he just went to Yanga. Bernard Agunda, former captain, Kenya Breweries. Francis Odor Kila. Mahmoud Abbas. There are so many that we can use. I think for corporates, to be honest with you, there's something else fishy apart from that. And the idea is for them just to make money and exploit Kenyans. That's the idea. I attended a clinic there was a bank that brought Arsenal coaches, academy Arsenal coaches. And I'm a footballer myself. And there's nothing new that they taught those kids that I've never seen Rishadi Shedu teaching the kids at KCB. Or Ezekiel Akwana teaching the under-19 FC.
I've actually just seen Rishadi Shedu in those clips.
And he will tell you actually he's a better coach than Nwankwo Kanu. But the idea, at that bank that brought these Arsenal coaches, those kids were from the rich areas, and their parents first had to open a bank account with that bank for their kids to be coached by a coach from Arsenal. You know, what does that show you? And then, okay, 2 years later, do we have a kid at Arsenal? Okay, Nwankwo Kanu came here. Do we have a kid at Inter Milan?
We've seen Samuel Eto'o
came here. Did he take a kid to Barcelona? No. These kids still will go back home.
Are you saying?
Like, this is Raisa. This is Raisa Academy. Raisa Academy, the CEO for Raisa Academy is Mark Ongwae. You know Mark Ongwae, the left back that he played for City Stars, went to Shabana, and then he has a case now with Moroni Sugar. He's the CEO. These kids come from Riruta. That's where, Kawangware. They went back to Kawangware.
If I may read some of your reactions on Twitter, David Gitonga Dacha says that currently that cannot help, but for long-term solution, maybe it will work. Brian Ndalo saying that former Kenyan footballers are hustling mashinani, while the likes of Kanu are enjoying their savings and endorsements. This James from Nairobi, there's a phone call. Please, if you can let him in so that he shares with us what he has to say. James.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Yes, I would like to contribute to the sports chat.
Sure.
And say that it is important we have the international icons come. But then sometimes I wonder, why do we call the retired people, the legends? Why can't we call someone who is actively in sports, say like even Messi? Even Rooney's, the people who will create sensationalization around football if they come. Because, of course, there will be a lot of media attention, there will be a lot of attention all over the world. Why do you keep calling people who retired a long time ago? And then also, I think we can, as some of you are saying, it is important to make sports a real deal in parliament, in mobilization, so that it becomes part of our income earning and job creation for our youth. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. There's also Cheza Sports on Twitter, and they're saying that it does add value, but in his own words, clubs need to have academies. Let's listen from Kemboy from Kapsabet. Please talk to us, Kemboy.
Yes, good morning, Sports Chat.
Morning.
Yes, Kemboy Kapsabet.
Welcome.
Yes, I'm really worried about the anti-doping issue in Kenya. We have a lot of good talent in the country. But where we are going, I mean, a lot of young guys around, they are very natural, they are very themselves, but they know that there is a menace of doping. But they are so much worried, about tomorrow, because supposing something happens in Kenya like the Russia, and it could go that way. I mean, we are joking around, and we just saw what happened to Russia.
Sure.
Yeah. And I don't see the parliament struggling. I don't see the government coming in actually so strongly into this. We are taking it for granted, and it's going to hit us tomorrow, So that's my worry. We should really debate about these things so much. We should look up into avenues. What exactly is the problem? Why are we not cooperating with WADA?
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, we are the ones going to suffer. And we have a lot of talent. For example, here in Kapsabet, the guy who won Kotut, 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 he trains around, meets with the guys around, trains around. He's a very natural guy. But then I know you'll come back and say, you know, guys, there is an opportunity outside there, but this doping issue is really going to mess a lot of young talent in the country.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kemboy. Let's listen also from Gibson from Mombasa. Gibson, talk to us.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, Gibson.
Yes, my name is Gibson and I'm in Mombasa.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to support my fellow caller, James.
Yep.
In that these guys are supposed to be bringing the guys who are still playing football. In that, if they bring a guy like Rooney, they bring a guy like Ronaldo, these young kids are going to be inspired by these guys. Even as they watch football, they'll be very comfortable to look at the skills that are being applied by Ronaldo, the skills that are being applied by the likes of Hazard and the rest. But if they bring these guys who are already retired, they'll just be there. They'll be left in wherever, is it Kawagare? Yeah, they'll be left there. But if they bring guys who are still in active football, the likes of Wanyama, those guys are going to inspire these kids, and these kids are going to have the inspiration, the right inspiration to get their foot on the football and grow their skills as they watch their legends who are still playing football.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Gibson. You can see guys are now talking about that. They are saying that it were better if they brought maybe active footballers to come and inspire the kids. Well, Nwankwo Kanu, because we don't have much time left. Nwankwo Kanu, big star, but he does bring something. We have to give it to him.
I don't think so. I don't think so. What does he bring on the table? What has he brought to Kenya that we've never seen? I mean, if you attended that practice session, there's nothing that he showed Kenyans that we've never seen.
That is Shadrack Kandinga, his closing remarks. Let's hear from Gasharira, your closing remarks on this.
I think we have to look at the way forward in terms of the long-term solution. We've seen Airtel organize the Airtel Rising Stars with the Kenya Secondary Sports Association, where the best players get to go to Manchester United. We need to establish exchange programs between us and countries which have excelled in football. I think that would be a better way of promoting football other than bringing superstars to the country, because at the end of the day, as Shadrack says, there is if Kanu does not carry a kid with him to wherever he played, it doesn't add any value.
Thank you.
I think we should just look at the long-term solution.
Thank you very much. Those are our two analysts. That is Samuel Gasharira of soccer.co.ke. Thank you very much for coming through. For us, Shadrack Kandinga, as always, thank you very much for coming to share with us. That has been a Sports Child segment of Morning Express show. And we hope that this can only create a debate so that we can continue talking about the benefits of bringing all these former stars. Do we need to use our own people like Dennis Oliej, Victor Wanyama and all that, or we continue borrowing from other African countries or even European countries to come and help our kids develop? Until next week, I have been your presenter, Robin Toskin.